All right. Thank you, Meg. So we're gonna kind of go over where we left off, which is you guys finished up your time in the Crags of the Hellmouth, uh, dealing with Quill, dispatching him in this kind of vessel form for the second time. You guys kind of figured your way out of the veil, seeing that the relic, those bearing the relics of Merlin, were able to almost at least stabilize the tear long enough to bring you and your friends back to the material plane. Doing so releases a notable gust of wind that kind of exploded in the area, but it was kind of dwarfed or not as much attention to, because a lot of the people that were there when you first disappeared had already been killed either by the two chieftains battling it out for the right to rule the entire horde, and also because of all those that Quill had ripped their souls out while you were fighting him in the Vale. So there was many dead bodies, but you did return to see Bruco get the final attack and finally kill Thruk. And that brought us back to where you were talking or listening to Bruco essentially kind of solidify himself as the chieftain, as it seemed there was it's just very much so a delicate situation, as whenever power is violently taken over, you're kind of feeling things out to see if people are going to respect the laws and the laws in your culture, way of things, of how things are done. But there are still some that are very loyal to Thruk and what he was kind of for, and that was marching down on the Western Kingdoms. Something, though, he was able to gain support from the troops by suggesting that he similarly thought that they could take the Western Kingdom still, Thruk or not. But he seemed to be more rational in dealing with his tribes and try to get them to see the way of what happened the last time they fought for the Empress and what kind of situation they would be, even if they won that battle. With some discussions between you and him and his plan from previous discussions you guys had, it seems like he's on the same rationale, same wavelength of wanting to work with the kingdoms as long as the kingdoms seem to meet them on certain terms that are pretty substantial, substantial ask items. Probably would be declined if Bruco didn't have an idea in the back of his mind, and that was to kind of take advantage of Lorna's honesty when she was in his, in his tent back at his previous camp, and he kind of put her and her friends, you, Lorna, and the rest of you kind of on the spot, really, to say, the entire group asking for what you guys had found. And you guys did reveal, you guys did agree after he agreed that he would help Karuda out, but his agreements with the Western Kingdom still heavily rely on their ability to meet their demands. You guys handed the seat over, knowing you were taking a pretty big gamble, and got on your mounts and started to return to Mythanor, which you made camp for the night and then continued your flight to Sunos the next day. We left off with you guys arriving into the dockyards of where the airships are kind of coming and going into Sunos. When they're making their patrols. Oh, the wall got erased from the map, but just so you guys remind, there's like a big wall that goes between there, and that's kind of where they kind of keep patrolling back and forth from. You guys land in the familiar dockyards. You're seeing a little bit more things in history in the area now that you've familiarized yourself with the Zaluda family. You will see just kind of how that family's name is kind of found a little bit more and more places as you visit here. It's not all over the place, but you're recognizing it as you're passing through the dockyards. The six of you kind of see these ships come and go, and as you guys land, what do you guys do with your? What do you guys do as you once you land in the dockyard?
So do these things just? Are they just gonna fly back? Are they gonna follow us from now on?
Go ahead and do animal let's go ahead and have everyone do animal handling, and let's see how they're tolerating you guys. Sure, I mean, a lot of them just want to get back, especially now that you've made it this far south. They are not in
Give myself guidance.
Element at all.
That is a 19.
Okay. Let me go ahead and roll for Bart.
I think I might have lost mine.
And
Bart does not like him at all.
Bart tries to eat him.
And let me just do his real quick too. Ooh, Joseph's actually pretty good at animal handling. All right. So as when Bart comes down, his Chimera is just done with all this, and it will actually go as far as trying to buck Bart off. He's pretty dexterous, so I'm not going to have him roll, but he would recover, or falling or coming off the Chimera, that he would find a way to do so gracefully, as the Chimera though would turn around, try to take off, and start heading back north. Cronus and Josel, as you guys actually, Josel had some pretty good successes early on, so I'm going to take that into consideration. But Curtis, you as you land, your Chimera also seems in a similar fashion, wanting to get out of there and not deal with you. It doesn't buck you free like Bart's does, but it does kind of, as soon as you no longer pay it mind, or you get off it is going to take off before any kind of stable hands or even any kind of people could come to your aid or for you to react. But so your two both have flown off. The rest of you, they all seem agitated and ready to go home. It's up to you guys how you guys would like to handle them. You could try to find some people to take them to some kind of stabling or whatnot, and continue to try to work out this thing. But they seem very, very hostile, and you can do more checks if you want to see how they would do in a stable environment. It may not be good with other critters. But what would you guys like to do?
I'm just gonna let mine go. Like, pat it on the snoot.
I mean, don't we need to fly back?
Oh yeah, we do.
Who's paying the stable hands for a possible imminent death?
I will pay the stable hands.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, okay. How's 10 platinum? Make sure you don't die, make sure they don't die.
For Karuta, it wouldn't be nearly as much, but yeah, he'll take it as a as coverage and for tip, but he'll take 5 platinum, and he'll say that's too much, and then he'll but he will go ahead and timidly start trying to figure out how to keep the rest of the Chimeras there, to stay there. So Cronus, I don't know what you would like to do. Do you want to try to stop your critter from trying to fly away? You can go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw or something.
Could he?
I'll give you another chance.
The critter.
What's that?
Could he intimidate it to listen to him?
You can try. I mean, if you'd like to tell me what you'd like to try to do, Cronus, we could come up with a check for that. You don't have to necessarily do a athletic reaction. I guess you could do something different.
I would imagine there's a set of walls or something around where we landed. We landed
Not really. You're kind of in an open air area. You guys landed in the dockyards.
Alright.
Yeah, it's pretty open here. Besides maybe some crates and stuff, but they're not you're not right next to them.
What time of day is it?
Shoot, you know what? You guys went to the Hellmouth. You guys slept at Mythanor, and then you decided to fly. So this is going to be a little bit after lunch, so maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay, well. Let's see. Let me see if I have anything in my bag. Yeah, I don't have anything that'll help me. No, I guess if it got away, I'll just let it go. I'll figure out something else later.
Okay. All right. So the stable hands take care of the rest of the 4 chimeras that you guys had managed to keep tempered long enough to stay with you. Where would you guys like to head first?
I think we need to head to the royal quarters and talk with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
Probably should let them know.
Yeah.
I mean, they already know, but like.
Yeah.
At
It's
least give a
Cinderella
proper
and
report.
Rapunzel that are here.
Yeah, Cinderella and Rapunzel.
Cool.
Yep. Trying to find other people. I feel like the recent NPCs is off just a little bit. I need to go bring those back in. Oh well, I'll do that after the session. Okay.
Okay.
So, you guys make your way to the castle in the center of Sunos. It's a little bit of time passing through all the docks, and you know, you kind of get a up close look at some of them and see some of these kind of big engines, and on these, and some of these have this massive floats that kind of make it all work, and it's they're quite massive in size. You can see why it would take a long time to create one of these. And there's not a whole lot many of them left. None of these, but you'll see several have areas where they've been worked on to kind of keep them afloat and keep them going longer than past their due. You leave the dockyard and make your way through the streets and closer to the castle. It's not too far off from the castle to the dockyard, so you don't have to travel too far or too long. Until you make it back to the castle, and you'll see a quartermaster there that you have ran into before, named Knox, and he is going to greet you all. Seeing you, he kind of just greets you all, and you can see he's kind of excited to see you, a little bit more animated than when you first time you met him, but he seems to have heard some good news that you guys bring, and he seems excited to bring you to the Queens immediately. Before he takes you to the Queens, is there anything you guys want to do?
No. I will just note Lorna still looks fucking tired, but that's it.
Yep.
All right. He'll take you through the grand halls of the Castle Sunos. You'll see some artwork of different historical leaders along the many years. You will even see some artwork kind of heralding the days of back when King Jack and the fights against the giants and the dragons. There's this very grandiose imagery and stuff that's really kind of building remember in the Shrek where Lord Farquaad is painted like to be this massive guy, and he's really just a small guy. He's obviously, some of this has had, some of the artwork seems embellished a little bit, but it's all in good taste. But and he'll take you through the same hall that you guys have traveled before, and open these large, massive doors leading to the hall where you had met the queens of previous time. Still see the war table kind of set up in the room with a map draped across it. It's so large that some of it kind of folds over the edges. And you see several of their markers and tokens sprawled across the thing, trying to gauge their current troops and enemy troops. As you guys, when you also enter, you'll see that they are, instead of being standing and hovering over the table like they had previously, they actually are at the opposite ends of the table, and they are kind of not completely have their backs towards you, but they seem to be mostly turned towards the back of the room, which as you walk in, you will see these massive mirrors kind of hanging there. You'll notice that they do kind of brandish that same the Western Kingdom symbol, and you will see that two other familiar faces on the screen, and that is going to be Queen Snow White and Queen Ariel, as they seem to be kind of in the middle of discussion that abruptly ends as the doors swing open. Rapunzel is a little bit more forward with her feelings and then Cinderella, and she seems to be excited and smiling to see you, while the others are still pleasantly surprised by you, but they don't seem to have the same excitement that Rapunzel seems to be beaming at the moment. She goes, "Perfect time, come in, we need to know everything." She's very again excited about you being here, and she's just kind of trying to figure out what has happened since you've been away. We have many things to discuss, and that's where her tone kind of turns a little bit more somber as she kind of gets recollects herself and looks at the other queens. And there are some wonderful news, but with very grand what's the word I'm looking for? It comes at a significant gamble or risk. And then I guess the next thing they'll ask your group is just, how did you get them to agree to a ceasefire? Or they're just basically giving you the floor to kind of fill them in on what has happened, and or take the conversation as you'd like.
Well,
long story short, we found the Stormcaller clan. That's what they were, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Found the remains of the Stormcaller clan and their not dead chieftain. Killed Udra with their chieftain. Then rode towards where Doomhammer was so that they could commence in ritual combat again. They did. Doomhammer lost. We annoyed Quill. And some of Doomhammer's people died, so we helped the guy in charge get in charge. That's why there's a ceasefire. However, y'all gotta do the rest.
Also, a certain Dragonborn that's been causing trouble is dead.
Oh yeah, there's that.
So I mentioned that Nox will probably mention Daruku to some of the other guards, and as soon as he says that, one of the guards does kind of dismiss themselves, not in a rush like to go do something immediately, but it seems like that is something that it's a loose end in their affairs right now that he wants him to take care of immediately. Um,
Hmm.
Rapunzel will kind of seem a little bit more positive, and she says, "So Bruco still lives, and he
Still does
defeated."
live.
Uh, and she kind of seems just very happy. And the only reason she's showing kind of happy is just because of what she kind of shared with you guys before you all left. That he is kind of the more rational ones of the ones that they've had any kind of interactions long enough that it ended in violence. So she seems very pleased that at that news. And she goes, "But they haven't agreed to help us yet," is what you're.
See,
Why would people who've been repressed agree to help you without being unrepressed?
they're asking for two things, really. They want the wall to come down, I believe.
Yeah, those were the exact words.
And they want to be regarded
As
as
not
equals.
evil.
As
Yeah.
not evil, as equals.
So they want membership into the Western Kingdoms? She asked, kind of confused.
No, they want to be regarded as their own. But they don't want to be at war with you anymore.
Essentially more of kind of an honorary membership. They don't necessarily want a seat at the table, but they don't want you stepping on them like you have been.
Exactly.
They want to be independent. But with the ability to move through the kingdoms. Assuming they follow laws.
So Cinderella, Ariel, and Snow kind of look immediately dismissive. Well, let's go ahead and do this. Let's do persuasion checks first. For those that were speaking in that so far. So that would be Faye, Lorna, and Anika.
Yep, 1 sec.
Give myself guidance. That's a 19.
Haha! I'm tired.
I'm tired.
She still has 1 level of exhaustion.
That's right. Okay.
Also, just to refresh my memory. Is this actually Rapunzel's kingdom or is this Cinderella's kingdom?
This is Rapunzel's kingdom.
Okay.
She's the one that seems the most inclined to what you guys are discussing. The other kingdoms don't have as warm of a reception to the ideas. Ariel will go on as, you know what, though? Sorry, there's a lot of people here. I'm just kind of debating what each person would react to different pieces of information. Cinderella seems to be the most dismissive or adamant about it. That seems opposed to it, whereas the other two, Ariel and Snow White, their body language is also reading just not very pleased with the idea. Cinderella will then just kind of propose, like, if we take down the wall, what's going to hold hold them back from just marching in and kind of taking the foot and over the lands that they were like they did in the past? And she kind of will issue, like, we saw how lethal and dangerous they were as they were when they were serving the Empire. Do we really want them to rebuild, or do we want to kind of rebuild such a threat, or allow such a threat to just kind of go unchecked?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't at one point all of you at war with each other in history? I'm assuming you all didn't all get along all the time.
There are times when our histories of our kingdoms were at odds, but we've since put those to rest many, many years ago.
And what exactly put those to rest? I'm assuming it was some form of mutual trust. No?
I see what the comparison you're trying to make, but we do not. None of our teams ever have shown any kind of evidence of such bloodlust and just wanting to.
I'm sure if
conquer.
they had, it wouldn't be written down in history, would it? Because that was not a desirable trait among most. It is among the orcs. So maybe you need to, like, oh, I don't know, talk to them. Set laws. You have a policing guard force for a reason.
I mean, right now, you actually have a guy that seems somewhat honorable running it.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens when the next bigger, badder orc comes and challenges him to ritual combat and defeats him once more? This is still kind of coming from Cinderella. Snow White and Ariel are kind of listening. Rapunzel seems a little kind of disgusted with the narrow-mindedness of. I don't disgusted. That's the right word, but she just does not seem to be in agreement, 100% agreement with what she's saying. Although the concerns are still valid that she's bringing up.
You know, there are two ways to look at that. One is, if there is an environment of mutual trust and allegiance, say Bruco does lose a ritual combat, if you're a friend, why would they want to kill you? The other one, if he does lose to someone that hot-headed, well, I guess you're just going to have to make allies in the orc tribes, aren't you? There's always a potential to have a bad leader. Look at the freaking Empress. Can't let it stop you from doing things.
And at that point, Snow White will kind of say something, and you hear this kind of soft voice kind of come across the mirror. It's kind of have a dual. It's kind of an echoey kind of effect to her tone versus being right there in person with her. But you hear her kind of through, and she goes, "I do understand the concern of trusting those that we wouldn't necessarily consider as allies in the past, but I must say, it's proven." Lady Bonray, and she kind of notions towards you, Faye, and her friends ventured down into the Underdark, where we have enemies of all kingdoms. At one point, could be found down there, and they came back with allies, and they're so far have been held true to their word. I'm not saying it's not come easy, or I'm not saying it hasn't been difficult. And there's been several incidents that we have been able to resolve amicably, or at least without destroying each other. But it's been a difficult relationship. But it seems as long as we both sides continue to try, we're making it work. Do you think that the orcs can be trusted enough, or could we rely on the orcs to come to our aid if we are to meet their arrangements, or at least meet them somewhere in the middle of their terms?
I think it is possible. You're just going to have to work very hard to earn their trust again. To show them that you do mean to work with them and not against them, and not backstab them as soon as you get what you want.
It's going to be a two-way street on both parties.
Considering
Exactly.
neither of you really trust each other. But for some reason, trust us.
Exactly. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for you princesses to gain the trust of these orcs. Set this down in history, that you work with the orcs, that you befriend the orcs, that you trust them, and future generations will look up to you.
Rapunzel will actually speak up positively to kind of hearing your words, and she kind of lets them sink in a little bit. She'll kind of speak up as well. You kind of encourage her to kind of be more vocal about her. I don't want to say support because she definitely has concerns, but she seems to be on your side, or you guys are at least making the most progress with her. And she will say, kind of similar in fashion, but will say, years and years ago, we did work together, and successfully. And she'll kind of talk about how her ancestors and King Jack, worked with the humans, the elves, the dwarves, worked with the orcs, Warforged, all these different Asmarians, Tabaxi, creatures of all different walks in life. But the orcs were not always seen as allies in the past, but we came together on a mutual goal, and we did defeat the ancient dragons many centuries ago. Perhaps we could align or work together and stop the Empress from trying to return to power. I know it's going to be hard, and it seems like she's already sunk her talons into many. And she'll kind of, and that's more of her reference of like the Drow, even though most of the Drow are now working for, or not most, but the remaining houses are working for, or working alongside and with the Northern Kingdoms. They're kind of not their full capacity of what they once were, their former glory, but. So it's kind of, she'll just say, we can if we band together, at least and fight for a common goal, we can, possibly stop this army, that the Empress seems to be acquiring and building in the north. Maybe we can do something against it.
Exactly. You'll have an even greater support here now. You're not going to be at war with somebody to the north and around you. You're going to have more hands that might be willing to fight depending on what you do. Who knows what's going to happen?
The state of your relationship with the orcs is now pretty much in your hands.
If you don't agree to this, they are prepared to march. And they will take that wall down by force.
Rather easily.
Exactly.
And from what we've seen, it's no joke. They really could.
They could. It's not just that they could. They will take it down.
Yeah. Anger mixed with a society that kind of reveres war. They're not on your side right now.
No. You start taking down that wall yourselves, it'll put you on their good side for a bit. Then work it out from there. But you have to start something. This could turn the tides here. Who knows?
You'll see. Go ahead and make persuasion checks for the entire group. It's kind of like a group effort.
Give myself guidance again.
God. Yep.
I'm gonna use luck. I'm using luck. Yes, luck.
She sounds a bit drunk. That's probably why it sounds like a 7, but who knows?
No. I typically look at these kind of, especially when it comes to like diplomacy, like especially because it makes no sense. Like, oh, you made a perfectly sound argument, you rolled crap, it doesn't work. I kind of look at it more as like, when I ask for the rolls, is like, no, you've definitely done something effective. I'm just trying to determine how effective is what it's more. Okay. So just because you rolled badly doesn't mean that you necessarily have botched the whole thing. I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, so we gotta start. The last thing you said was we have to start. I'm sorry. Do you remember the last sentence you said?
You have to take the first step, and then you can work it out from there. I think.
We will need to, or you see a lot of the queens seem on the mirrors do seem to be shifting their position, and even Cinderella, who was kind of more adamantly against this idea, she seems to be kind of softening, but she's still not for this idea. It would seem. You see her kind of pause, and she goes, "There's a lot to consider here, but you also went searching for something. Do you have any word of it, or you did send word back?" I'm sorry, pause game out of character. I can't remember. Did you guys send word back that you found the seed?
Mm-hmm.
Or,
Yeah, we did.
Okay, and you guys told Rapunzel or Cinderella?
Oh.
One of them?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't remember which one was
Me
on
neither.
So, I'm gonna say it's Cinderella.
Okay.
Because I just started speaking for Cinderella. She'll say, she'll say that they need to. That's a lot to consider. But do you have any other great news? I know that you are very excited, and we've also started talking to some of the scholars to prepare. Digging in deeper to seed that you went looking for. We would very much like to see it. She kind of says, kind of with renewed energy in the conversation, hoping that something to her liking will go that way.
Yeah. Sorry to burst that hopeful bubble of yours. But remember we said this whole alliance is kind of really important?
Her face kind of turns from optimism to pessimism.
Yeah. So as much as you may not like the orcs, they really didn't go into a negotiation on the back foot.
Yep.
Which honestly kind of really respected.
He'll kind of speak up for Cinderella, who seems to be lost for words, coming across the mirrors and say, it just doesn't seem like we have a lot of available options.
No, not really. You kind of got two.
Seems like they put themselves into a corner, and we have a decision to make to either go this alone or to
You can either fight two wars and potentially lose both, or you can fight one war with a very large army.
Rapunzel will then speak up and say that since her kingdom borders the Crags of Helmut, that it's truly her responsibility and call. But she kind of says to the queens, to maintain harmony, I don't wish to go against you on this, but I think this is the only right call I can see for the kingdoms. Snow will nod, and that seems to be enough for Ariel that Snow's White seems to be on board. And even Cinderella, who seems to be, again, against this, seeing that Snow White is on board, that has kind of carried a lot of weight, and they all seem to come in agreement. But Snow seems to be the one speaking. She goes, just thanking her. I don't know how to say this politely from her, but she'll thank Rapunzel on her striving to be kind of maintain the peace and harmony of the kingdoms and respect, that they have a say, even though they don't really have a say in this matter. And let's say if we can get the seed of Torque, they deliver that, we will begin work. I will begin working with them to remove the walls of Mythanor, and to kind of start fostering this new, not alliance, this partnership or an alliance. Yeah, really. I mean, they're two different nations. They're just making an alliance to work together and not to attack each other anymore for now. If they return the seed of Torque to us, I will take that on their goodwill that they truly mean to work with us moving forward, and we will go ahead and we will remove the walls of Mythanor. We'll keep the tower and the original stronghold, but the wall will be brought down, and they will be welcomed as travelers and as a separate nation that comes and goes through here, as long as they do so with peace and mind and support. No military aggression, obviously, towards us. She's just basically, as long as they don't start like raiding villages and stuff, she doesn't think this will be a very difficult partnership, but something that she thinks they can facilitate. But their agreement kind of comes from they kind of want the seed back though. So
did we get the impression that they weren't going to give the seed back either way?
Oh no, I made sure they're giving the seed back. Whether we failed or succeeded.
But only to us?
Yep.
Okay.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
The stipulation that they said was that they would only give the seed to Karuza. They wouldn't want it in the hands of major power. They don't want it to be used against them. Surely you can understand that.
And then she kind of looks shocked, and and then Rapunzel will kind of smile and say, perhaps this alliance were not too different from one another than we originally thought. As she kind of shares that their concern was that they were going to use it on them more so, like the orcs would use it on them versus them using it on them. And she kind of, she just kind of reflecting on the fact that, we're exactly the same. Both sides expected the worst from the other side, but neither side really planned on doing it, just to prevent. Well, I shouldn't say the orcs totally planned on doing it before Tharuk got taken out. But, now Bruco shares the same sentiment that he doesn't want to use it against them, and they don't want to use it against you, because they understand the danger that the giants actually kind of introduce. They also understand the reward and what the risk might mean, but
it's hope. Expect the worst, hope for the best situation.
So see here, I'm just trying to think. So what are you suggesting, or what are you saying? That you are not going to deliver us the seed once we agree to these terms?
Question on that. What exactly do you plan on doing with it? It can't be used to summon the giants correctly yet. I mean, it could, but then you'd be starting another war again. Because you wouldn't really be able to talk to. There's a crown, apparently.
And then that's kind of when Rapunzel will speak more to that and say that they haven't found the crown either.
No, they kind of thought Doomhammer had it, but turns out he doesn't.
So it's possible that it's still in his belongings, or did he have it and give it to someone else?
I mean, he didn't seem like the guy who would trust other people with stuff.
No, not really.
That's
and
true.
honestly, I'm pretty sure if he had a crown, he'd probably put it on his head.
That makes Rapunzel audibly laugh. Not that, it's just kind of like your bluntness to the sense that you just probably wouldn't, just go right to it. She's like, she'll just agree with you guys then on your logic and your conclusions.
Besides, if we are to call the giants down, it should probably be done not in the middle of a kingdom. Because if we do, for whatever reason, lose control of them, may as well make them work for pillaging and shit.
Without that crown, dealing with the giants would be very dangerous for anyone involved. Until we know where that crown is, I do not want to rely on diplomacy alone with these with the giants in the Cloud Cities.
Indeed.
History tells grand stories of things, but when you think about them, they're really broad generalizations and different paint strokes. She says, yes, it's said that Jack convinced the giants and stuff. It's a little loose on the details exactly how he was able to convince those massive creatures to side with us. So perhaps he had a plan all along. Or perhaps it was dumb luck, but I would prefer to go in with a plan rather than dumb luck, if at all possible. So she kind of shares that until we find that crown, they don't want to kind of summon the giants either. They think it's kind of a gamble. Not that they're against it completely, like push comes to shove. They may have to reconsider the risk versus the reward, but she understands that right now the risk is a little greater than she's willing to take.
Agreed. And considering both of you are worried about the other side attempting to strike a deal with the giants against each other, this may be another situation where the middleman is better to have it. I mean, literally, we had it on us for a couple of days, and only two of us knew where it was.
Your group is quite surprising, impressive, and Snow will just kind of smile in agreement. So Ariel and they all kind of simultaneously and then in their own individual ways, they really will kind of start to thank you guys for all the things, basically just the amazing accomplishments you guys have done, and they kind of just express kind of admiration just to watch you guys, just how you guys have kind of changed since Snow, most notably, like she just kind of can't believe this is still the same group. I don't know why she says, I don't understand why I'm having such a hard time believing this, especially without you all, I would not be here breathing today. So I don't know why I have such a hard time in believing that you keep kind of surprising or just accomplishing these. They're just kind of in awe of the adventures and the things you've done over the past few months. Rapunzel will then smile and just kind of say, I have a grand idea. We are in December, or Decembros in Fantasia. And she says, the holidays are approaching. I know we are at war and times are very dire, but perhaps we could put something together for the different military, or the different armies, to kind of take a break, and this new alliance may give them a chance to just kind of not let down our guard, but at least have a moment to themselves to kind of recollect themselves. Rapunzel will say to you, if you go to return to Bruco and tell them we will begin, we'll make the arrangements, and we agree to their terms that they continue to want to be an ally and work with us. As long as they return the seed to us, and issue or tell them that
to us,
to you, Karuda, but they want it for themselves as well. They are like, but they want you to bring it back to them. we do need the seed, but we will be. But I understand their reservations, and she'll say, I would like to invite Bruco himself, or someone he delegates, to come personally to all the way down to Sunos, and we shall welcome them as guests and break bread as you know, as we should do as with any other normal ally or you know, if you could talk them into. So she's inviting them to to come and visit and to kind of make this official, this agreement between two leaders. This is kind of odd for what's going on, and Nox does not seem to be liking this idea that a bunch of orcs could be walking right into Sunos per Queen's directions or instructions, but he does not seem man enough to say anything to say contest otherwise. Yeah, is there anything you guys would like to say or do in response to that? So she does want the seed back, but to meet them halfway, she's offering them to come to Sunos as guests to kind of celebrate the holidays that are approaching this month, and yeah.
What type of weapon did Bruco use again?
Let me open his character sheet again. I believe it was like a massive maul. That's not it. Let me see if I can Google. Not Google, but search here. Here we go. In Udra. Well, this obviously is not a regular maul. Let me double check what a maul's damage. It's
don't worry about it.
yeah,
but-
sorry. It's like it was a massive. It doesn't match the item card for maul, but it was like a massive club-like thing with boulders and bone kind of affixed to it to kind of make it a huge club-like maul.
I don't know if this is actually a thing outside of storybooks, but like, would you give like a ceremonial gift for making an alliance with someone who I'm pretty sure wouldn't understand a treaty? And actually, I don't know if we could even write one in Orc.
I'm sorry.
Danica talking out loud.
Yeah, I'm not understanding your question. Sorry.
So you're trying to seal a deal with somebody. I'm assuming he's not just going to take us on our word. Most alliances, you would have like a piece of paper. Is this an instance where you give like a ceremonial gift instead? Like, here, we're friends. Have this.
She will look at you and is like, "That's a good point. I don't know how to write anything in Orcish, but it would be offensive to assume that they don't know how to read Common. Perhaps I should do both."
Considering how they spoke Common, I wouldn't bet they can read it.
I will have to write something and may possibly give it to my scholars to see if they could perhaps find a way to translate it into Orcish, or maybe they have a spell that will, you know, allow it to be read in whatever the reader's language. I'm sure they can come up with something like that. I'll speak to some of my enchanters and mages here. She'll then say, she'll kind of consider, you know, what she would think would be a good token or a present. But she kind of dismisses, thinking like they're probably not going to like that. She's kind of.
I mean, the easy route.
Warhammer.
That's what I was thinking. That or like, I mean, he was the Stormcaller clan, like a war horn. Either that or a really nice maul.
she'll say, "Speak to," or shoot, what was the guy's name? That he's right there in the room. I switched to the other page, so I lost it. It's Knox, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Knox. She'll look at Knox and she goes, "Call out to our rangers and tell them that we are send word to the rangers near Mythanor to hunt for large beast and game that will be kind of delivered to celebrate Chieftain's Bruco's new rise to power and to kind of honor his his new position." Knox will kind of be like worried in the sense that, like, are they just going to walk up and not be killed? She goes, "Well, we'll make arrangements to make sure that it'll happen." As she kind of looks over to you guys, as you sound like you're planning on returning up there to deliver the message, or I guess I shouldn't assume that. What are you guys thinking about doing in return? Are you guys going to fly back up there and try to return with him, or you guys don't know yet?
Oh, we're definitely going to fly back up there.
I mean, that was
Okay.
the agreement with him.
Yeah.
Okay,
Also,
Just
he
make
has
sure.
speed, and I don't want him to have it that long.
fair enough. She'll say that Perudo will be heading up north, and once they are there, and we'll be sitting. Once Perudo starts returning from the north, or once they are back to Mythanor, that'll be a sign for you to bring that present to them up to Bruco. And she'll also, again, write some letter that kind of describes a long, hearty, basically saying that we were allies once again. We think that we can do this once more. We know this isn't going to be easy, but we're gonna. The Kingdom of Erosia would like to open its gates to a new ally, and to basically stop the tyranny of the Empress to ever returning to Fantasia again. And it is sealed with wax, with the with her royal symbol, and she is going to go ahead and make sure that before giving it to you guys to take back with you, she's like, "Let me go." She's going to say she wants to get a chance, so it can be translated into any language by the reader. Let me think. What else did she do? She'll give the letter to you guys, and then she's just kind of contemplating what would be a great thing to kind of give, to kind of represent, not only just to feed some of their troops and stuff as a token, but she's just kind of contemplating what else. And you guys said something about a war horn, right?
Nor a warhammer.
Or a warhammer?
Either one.
I mean, I feel like the Warhammer would probably go a longer way since they are, aggressive individuals. Kind of sending a bigger message.
Yeah, I'd probably prefer a warhammer over a horn, to be honest.
I mean, I think it would even go a little further if it was a Warhammer enchanted with some type of lightning.
Ooh, that would be great.
Yeah.
That's a better Stormcaller metaphor than what I had. Yeah.
That'd be very difficult to come up with in such immediate turnaround. Because you guys are looking like to fly back out either tomorrow or tonight, right? Possibly.
I mean, we have a couple days.
Okay. Still.
He gave us a week.
Let me look up that flame. I'll use that as kind of a.
Also, a recommendation for the seed issue. What if you just made a chest that had 2 keys, where you keep a key and then they keep one, and then they can just hold the chest? And it's kind of like a symbol of, we trust you to protect it, but we both need to be there to open it.
I would like to see if Bruco would agree to us holding it before we offer that arrangement. I think
you can even arrange that they hold it for a while, then you hold it for a while.
Besides, why exactly does it matter who holds it?
It just makes them both feel better.
Well, yeah, but like she's pushing real hard to hold it, which makes me think she's gonna try and use it without the crown.
I mean, the Western Kingdoms definitely want the seed, but it's kind of like what they're thinking. This is kind of like taking down the walls and opening what little, basically the thing that's keeping them at bay, even though we know they can come through and attack and make an attempt to destroy it. It's still a pretty big military decision to basically disassemble a stronghold. Like, that's a major ask. And so, to facilitate such a major ask, she's asking for her own major ask. Does that make kind of sense? Like, taking down a wall of that magnitude is not a small, really even doable request. It'll probably take years for them to complete. Shoot, what was I looking up before I got started thinking about that?
The flame tongue weapon.
Oh, shoot, I had it open and I closed it. So why am I looking at this? Bonus actions, we work everywhere for you, deals 2d6 for damage. Oh, interesting. I don't know if I said this to you guys when you picked up the other flame tongues, but apparently that adds the attunement requirement to those weapons as well. So those that picked up like the +1 scimitar with flame tongue and a +1 warhammer with flame tongue, those actually do require attunement. I did not know that. So we worked that out offline if you guys have been whatever doing that. I still didn't tell me what the rarity level does. Does it tell you? Nope. It just says they can be applied to anyone. Let me look at my item pricing and see what it does with flame tongue on it. The prices. Okay. Look at magic crafting. All right. She kind of looks up. Sorry, it took me a while to find my way through all these tables. She'll kind of say, I don't necessarily have something enchanted, nor do I think I can get one ready. And even with my best, enchanters working on this for me, the quickest I could probably get something like that is probably a whole week, and that is with them working around the clock. Definitely something worthwhile to do. I just afraid that might be pushing us on time. But she goes, I could definitely get with my craftsman and have a beautifully crafted hammer created to kind of represent Stormcaller's rise to leadership, and we will have it emblazoned with its with the Stormcaller clan's markings and everything that they in colors. So she's kind of saying that they'll inlay like blues and some other things that kind of, in their fashion. She kind of hesitates and she goes, or do you think they would like something a little bit more in their aesthetic?
Probably not something too flashy that would give them away or anything.
This is more symbolic of our alliance than functional.
I mean-
She goes, "We'll make this warhammer perfect, or large and massive in size for their new chieftain."
I mean, I
Question.
actually have an idea.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna reach into my bag and pull out my shiny rock of store summoning,
Okay.
and I think I just have to cast like a spell on it, like any kind.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Would you like me to mock your rock?
Maybe don't do it.
No, I
here.
got minor illusion, so
Okay.
I'm gonna minor illusion instead of little googly eyes on my pet rock,
Okay.
and then as soon as he says anything, I'm gonna just be like, "Do you have any weapons with lightning enchantment right now?"
So that you can throw and return to you.
So what did you cast on the rock?
Minor illusion,
Okay.
and then
what do
I
you-
put little googly eyes on my pet rock.
You hear this frantic, weird, older voice, which I think you guys renamed as Victor, and I can't remember what his original name. I think it was Peter or something originally. Victor's way easier to say, and he goes, God, give me a heart attack. And you gotta hear back from within his magical shop, like the sound of things like clashing and falling over as you've obviously just scared the shit out of him. He goes, I thought I told you how to use that thing. Let's do that. What are you, something with lightning on it? He goes, yeah, I have things like that. I wouldn't be much of a magic shop if I didn't.
Can you make your shop appear in Sunos?
Actually, we do that
Oh,
with the.
how do we do that?
I'm just gonna tell him back, get ready to pack your bags, and then I just need
I
these,
have customers. What?
and then I need a diamond worth 1,000 gold pieces.
What?
No, I don't have that. And even if I did, I wouldn't give it to you right now.
The queen kind of looked at you questioningly. That's quite a large diamond.
I'm about to bring a magic shop to your city.
Oh, I'm trying to find that item card. Did I just put it in your personal character sheet, Cronus, or?
Yes.
We'll also promise that if you give us the diamond, we won't move the magic shop.
Here's what I have on my
Shiny
card.
rock store something. She'll, I guess she'll look at you inquisitively and say, well, what kind of item does he have? And
Man,
then,
I don't get a full conversation. It's kind of just like a quick little 1 or 2 sentence thing. He says he has stuff with lightning on it. So if nothing else, we might be able to just move it from one thing to another and speed up the process.
let me just roll to see if they have it. I'm just going to fight a straight D20 roll, and I'm just going to see. She'll say that that's really quite a large diamond. Something that size. I don't know if we have anything like that in royal vaults or treasury, but I will have someone look for it. I cannot guarantee you that right now. Yeah, that's just a really massive diamond. I'm trying to.
Would like 1,000 gold of just diamonds work, or does it have to be one solid diamond?
If it's like most spells, just normally 1,000 gold of diamonds.
Does it say diamond or diamonds in there?
It says diamond, but like you said,
Yeah.
1,000 gold diamond is that's a rather large piece.
And also, we have to be fair to Silent, because this is an item from year one, and I still am a greener than green DM, but I was a shit more greener than at that time. So, let me see here. 1,000 gold diamond. I can summon the store of a specific building. It doesn't say that the diamond is consumed afterwards. So, I would happily retcon this to be a 500 gold diamond, but it does consume the diamond after use. So that way he can't just teleport Victor wherever you want all over the place. Well, I mean, you can. It just, there is a cost.
We need our magic shop.
So I just updated a little bit. This let me do some.
I updated it. 500 gold diamond. Diamond gets destroyed after use.
Oh, I put it extra in your item on your item sheet. Do you have it somewhere else?
Do what? No.
There. Okay. Perfect. So that's that. For 500 gold diamond, though, she will be able to help you out with that. That's way more reasonable. Let me see how many she actually will be able to provide. That's way more doable than 1,000 gold diamond. And Sunos. And if this was a smaller city and you weren't talking royalty, that would probably be even still a hard ass. But talking to royalty, she would be able to produce 2 diamonds for you. But you know what? I'm sorry. She wouldn't offer that since you just asked for the one. She would just say, she would offer the 1 diamond for free to you and your group. She'll say, you know what? Did you guys write down what she told you she would pay you too when you guys brought the Seed of Torque back? Because that was going to be a pretty big payday too.
I do not.
Wasn't it like 1,000 platinum?
It was a lot.
Probably.
I think it worked out to be 1,000 platinum for each of you. I think is what it was.
No.
No, let me see. Let me double check.
No.
Hang on now.
Hang on.
Let the man talk.
Let the man talk.
2 gold. What is 1,000 platinum to gold? Is that 10,000?
Oh, it's 10,000. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably not right.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Hold on. I know I wrote it down
with 1,000
somewhere.
platinum, I think Faye would be richer than her entire family.
I wrote it somewhere. I have too many.
It was a lot, though. It was a lot.
It was a fucking lot.
Maybe it was 50 platinum each? That seems to stick out. I'm trying to see if I can pull up my notes. It would have been when you guys went into Sunos for the first time. No.
I literally have too many sticky notes everywhere.
In here. I'm sorry, I can't find it. If you guys go watch the older videos and you find out that I'm telling you wrong, please feel free to correct me and I'll make it right. Let me make a note of it right now, though, so I don't forget. So if you guys do correct me in the future, we can always retcon this. Let me just make a special note. Payout for
I think it was 6 episodes ago.
It just says in my notes 1,000 platinum.
That might have been
stopping
like
the
for the
orcs.
group.
Yeah.
What's that?
It just says 1,000 platinum for stopping the orcs in my notes. So that's probably his group.
Yeah, I think it's just split out. Just whatever you guys. That's what I thought. Let me see. It's 1,000 divided by 6.
1,000
It's
divided by 6
about
is not
160, 150. What's that? I'm sorry.
I mean, we could make it
Make it 1,200 just for nicety's
1,200.
sake.
1,200 for simplicity.
For math.
For math, that way it's just 200 platinum per person.
Mm-hmm.
I like easy math. Payout for Seed of Torque is 1,200 platinum pieces, or 200 each. All right. That sounds right to me. I thought it was like 150 to 200, something like that. So that's in the right ballpark for me. Because this was going to be a pretty significant reward if you guys did bring that back to the kingdom. They're not giving that to you right now. I'm just making that note now for when you do return with the Seed of Torque, though. That was what they were kind of hoping to find. I do remember that was kind of part of the arrangement. So. But you return that, they will give you 200 platinum each.
Also,
what else were we doing?
Was the wording on the magic shop, it goes to an empty building?
No,
Yes,
to
you
a
will need to
specific building.
find.
So we need an empty building.
Yeah.
I thought it said an empty building, right?
No, it just says to a specific building. So I take it as like I just be like, I want it in this building. So that's where I cast the spell at.
Gotcha. It should say a vacant building, just because it could replace it. Go ahead and change it, but you're still not going to have a problem finding that here in a major city. You'll be fine finding a kind of a vacant building or. Well, I guess you can do any building. It's just that the inhabitants of the building just
Yeah, just like, hey, sorry, you're being evicted.
So I'm sorry. So that's probably why I didn't specify that, because I had that thought when I wrote it. I was like, well, I guess there's nothing stopping you. It's like, but all your shit's going to be gone forever until like this shop disappears again. So yeah, you can choose any building of that similar size. You can't walk into a castle and replace the castle with Victor's shop or something. It has to be a building of comparable size to his shop that you've seen in the past. Again, not a major problem for you to find. Okay. And you also know that Victor, it does enchanting work as well, and he does work on transferring enchantments and all sorts of other good things that Victor can do. Is there anything else you guys want to discuss with the queens here? They seem to be in agreement with crafting this, magnificent hammer that kind of really just kind of is a more ornamental piece, but it's very large and overbearing in design. That's what they're kind of thinking. But are you guys thinking about doing something a little bit different?
I mean, that would be your ideal gift to them.
All right. They'll say that they'll get the craftsmen to work on it immediately. They will also offer, you're going to be taken care of very well during your time here in Sunos, and you won't have they will definitely put you up in one of the nicer. You basically have your choice of where you'd like to go. They'll offer you to cover any kind of bread and breakfast that you want to stay at for breakfast when you're in town, or they'll let you stay up in more noble quarters and stuff inside of the castle proper area. It's more like not necessarily guards quarters or anything, but it would be someone that's maybe worked within the kingdom or worked for one of the royal guard positions. Maybe that's why there's rooms in there for them. Or wherever else you'd like to go in Sunos. What would you guys like to do?
I guess go ahead and head to whatever building they want to donate for Victor's shop.
Okay. You go. Everyone else good with that, or is there anything else that you guys want to do with the queens? They are going to go to work on that mask, that hammer, and that letter.
That works for me.
Then Rapunzel and the rest of the queens are going to end their kind of call. And as you guys kind of leave to kind of retire for the day and kind of take care of your own personal business, Rapunzel will kind of, again, more privately thank you guys for what you've done for her kingdom. I know she's been very lighthearted about this, or doesn't maybe seem like she's as serious as she should be in her just kind of positive nature. But she does take a quick moment to thank you guys for what you've done. She goes, and she recognizes all the lives that you've spared in Mythanor by convincing this potential alliance, and just this this thing has done more. Just you guys have done more than she could have even imagined or asked for. You've literally saved thousands of her lives of her people that she cares. She's very genuine leader who is trying to do the best for her people, and you guys have just done a huge thing for her. So she's very appreciative as you guys leave. She'll let you guys depart, I guess, if you guys have nothing else to say, and you guys are free to roam the city or go to maybe one of the shops that she thinks that you guys could, enact your ritual. Is there anything you guys want to do before heading to that shop?
No, I'm good.
It's definitely a empty building, but in this kind of area of the district, it's not like dilapidated or anything like that. It's just no longer being used or dwelled in. Something that could easily be fixed up by someone like some Victor once he gets his feet settled here. And Cronus, go ahead and do as you wish.
So I guess I'll just put the stone and the diamond in one hand and I guess point it at the building because I have no idea what the hell I'm doing with this. And I'm going to cast darkness on the building.
Okay. It doesn't seem to work. It just looks like Curtis was sitting there with a diamond in one hand and the rock in the other, pointing it at the building, and then the building just goes like a big black blob on it right away.
Oh god.
The rock still has googly eyes, kind of bouncing as he does this. It looks very impressive, and his form looks like on point. Like Cronus is giving it a good try, but it doesn't seem like it's causing the effect. After spending a little bit more time kind of looking over it, asking the others kind of identify it and whatnot, you will eventually find out that you just need to kind of place the rock in the diamond within the shop and then cast the spell, kind of say a command word. Actually, let me see if I have a command word for that still. Treasure.
It's not open sesame.
I don't have a command word here, but you know what? I didn't really explain how the item is used, so let's make it up. So you have to place the seed on the floor or in the earth of the building that you're trying to set it in, along with the rock next to it, and you need to say something that will make Victor giggle or laugh.
Well, that's going to be hard because he's going to be pissed that we're moving him again.
Let me think. What would Victor? We'll come up with something offline. I don't want to delay you, but you say something. You say a command word after placing the diamond and rock in the shop.
Can we just say a fart joke? Everyone laughs at those.
Oh.
You can definitely. In
Sure.
fact, the command word is that you just got to tell your best or your worst joke. There you go. What's your best or your worst joke to summon Victor here? Like,
are you asking Cronus to do this?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I want Cronus to tell us
It's
a
your
joke.
spell.
It could be a total dad joke, and it could be a joke that's not funny to anyone, but maybe only to like a dragonborn. I'll let you do it as you wish with this.
Well, shit.
Sorry, maybe to put you on the spot. Way to put you on the spot. Yeah, I'm just turning it around, you know? You know what? I'm going to run the restroom real quick. Do you guys mind if we just take a quick 5-minute break, and I'll give you some time there, Cronus?
Sure.
All right, so A human, an elf, and a dragonborn walk into a bar. The gnome and the halfling walk underneath perfectly fine.
That one's good.
And
Oh.
the building starts to kind of shake and stuff, and you'll have to go back outside and close the door for the spell to complete its workings. But it's just starting the things that kind of start, the wind is picking up. Anything left over from before is kind of flapping or just kind of getting moved or twisted up in the wind that seems to be coming from nowhere. You step outside, you shut the doors, you just recently learned as part of the way this rock works. You wait for it, you hear what seems to be like a tornado going off inside, things clashing, colliding, glass breaking. The building itself seems like you can hear the wood creaking inside, and it looks like the house is actually just kind of, or the building is just starting to like breathe, if you will. It's like inflating and deflating, as if the building was breathing. And then eventually it stops, the noise settles, and a familiar signage drops in front. I believe. I'm sorry. Yeah, the signage you've seen when you were in Madeira and you came across the shop, and you'll hear from the inside kind of a muffled voice. Going like, what the hell happened? Yeah, you're welcome to go into the shop and see a disarray and disorganized shop with Victor laying on the ground with all sorts of things kind of laying on top of them, various items, papers, and other knickknacks. He sees you guys enter the shop and he goes, that rock was the worst thing I ever gave you guys.
Yep. And then I'm going to walk over and make sure I pick it up before he gets it back.
Okay.
Yes.
He sees it on the ground. He's trying to scramble over to it, but he's covered and stuff, and he can't get to it. There's really no risk, so you are welcome to just walk at a slow pace and pick it up in front of him as his feet and yours are kind of like doing that, just trying to reach and like pull something to it, but it's just within an inch of his fingertips as he's trying to reach over for it. And you get the rock back. The diamond, though, is no more. It seems to have shattered and turned to dust.
Yep. I'm going to maintain eye contact as I slowly put it into my bag of holding.
I really hate you. And then you just, after a moment, and he tries to fudge with the stuff that's on top of him, and eventually he just kind of claps his hands, and poof, the stuff that was on him kind of moves, disappears, and kind of reappears where it's supposed to be in its shop. You kind of see him kind of then go around and start tidying up and trying to get this place back. And he's like, "So I guess you needed me for something. Where did you bring me? I was pretty regular customers in Madeira."
You are now in Sunos, my friend.
Oh, it's better than the last time when you sent me down with the Duragar. Perhaps they will spend more money like us here than they did there. But what do you... Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. And then he'll look at you, but what did you bring me here for?
First, we need to know if you have any weapons with a lightning enchantment on it, and how long will it take you to move that enchantment over to a warhammer that's being made?
It depends on how quickly you need it done.
I mean, it's for the queens, so you can take that information and do with it what you want.
Yes, the queen, that's all very fine and nice, but what does this mean for me?
It means you'll be endorsed by two. It means you'll have made a weapon for two queens who, are supplying armies. Sounds like a lot of repeat business for you, doesn't it? In a city you just appeared in.
He shrugs his shoulders. That doesn't interest me. I want queens and kings come and go.
I'm gonna pull the.
What do you
I'm
want
gonna pull the
from
rock
me?
out and be like, I can just send you somewhere else if you want.
So yeah, we kind of do have the ability to just be very petty too.
And he kind of grunts and moans and whines a little bit.
I mean, we went out of our way to find you this nice building, and not just randomly drop you somewhere.
We did. We even
Put you in
spent
a good
money to get you
location.
this nice building.
Lorna walks over, shoves past both of them, puts down 30 platinum. It's 300 gold. It'll cover part of the cost. Think of the rest as good business and good favouring for the queens. And for the impending orc army that won't, raid your shop.
If you don't help us and the orc army does raid your shop, we're not
Aye.
moving it for you.
1 second. I am trying to find an old note. Promise you start calling him. You start calling him Victor, that I forget his original name, so I'm trying to find his original character notes. Let's see here. I'm trying to see where I told you guys what he is, or I thought I gave you guys like a character sheet for this guy at one point, and that's what I'm trying to find, like a picture of him. Or did we do it? Oh, did I do it in Discord? Let me see if it's in the handouts in Discord. Would have been early on. Nope, not there either. I'm trying to remember if I described him as a gnome, or if I described him as a human to you, because I have a picture here. Where'd you go? But it's not in my character notes. Oh well, I will have to find that after the session, get you a picture of Victor then that we'll be using for this game. And while he seems to be primarily human in his characteristics, it's clear that he's not just entirely human, but for some reason he is not sharing the same logic and rationale that you guys are trying to have him see eye to eye on. He doesn't seem to really care.
How much is it going to cost for us to get this weapon? Or
Enchantment of that type is not an easy thing to come by and just place upon one another. Place upon something.
Cronus, didn't you say this guy had multiple things that could deal lightning damage?
I do have things that can do lightning, or that are enchanted with electricity. Yes.
Then how hard can it be?
Oh, the transfer of the enchantment is a whole different thing, my dear. Or to create something from something takes time. It's not necessarily only the money and the components and the material and the professional skills that I've acquired over long times of practice and getting things wrong.
Don't royal courts have enchanters?
We could always just go to another enchanter and send him off to somewhere hellish.
Yeah, I mean, we really just need him for the other weapon, which, like, I think your 30 platinum could buy that.
We would prefer
Unless, of
to
course,
use
he
you.
quit sticking around.
We would prefer to use you. We know that you're trusted, and we know that your items are very good.
We know your
I
items are good.
trust you guys. You guys seem to be very rude in like you're bullying me into a decision. Don't think I would like to help you anyways. My rates just might have gone up. And no one can do it faster than me. I can have it done within He starts thinking himself, he goes, if I go here tonight, if I in your time that means this much, but he goes, carry the one, and then he's mumbling a bunch of things. He goes, I can have it done in your time tomorrow. But it is
That
not
sounds
not a cheap skill or trick. I implore you to try to find someone that can do it quicker than me.
Well, we'd rather not. We'd rather go with you.
Well, I don't know if I would like to do. You seem to be my captor more than my friends to work with at the moment.
We've summoned you to a
Realize you
great...
literally have taken none of our offers. Like,
I'm
you're not
telling
even
you-
really considering any of them.
No,
Even the
I
good
have-
ones.
No, he will tell you how much it costs. You instead of him tell you ask how much does it cost, and then you said we'll pay you this much. You haven't had a chance for him to tell you how much it will cost you.
Well,
So
how much does it
does
cost? I
it
did
cost?
Well, I got
We
a
did
look
ask.
You asked and then kept talking about like, enforcing him down his throat. Let's see here. Iron's magic.
You know what would be really handy right now, Silent? Xanthar's Guide to Everything.
The problem is that it's Xanthar's Guide to Everything deals with crafting magic items, but this is transferring a magic and enchantment to another one, which it doesn't do very well, I don't think. Unless there is a ruling for it, I'm looking because I'm trying. I thought we had something saved here. I'm looking through.
I don't think we had anything
Can be performed by various skill enchanters and dedicate time spells and resources to perform tests. Enchanters, though, can only perform an enchantment with all the right materials, so the following conditions must be met. We're talking about something comparable to Flame Tongue, which, looking at sane items to pricing, that kind of puts it at an uncommon rarity. Let me double check that, right? Flame Tongue. Same prices. +2 weapon is considered uncommon, or no, +2 would be considered rare at that point, right?
I guess, yeah.
So that would be considered a rare enchantment. Back to the homebrew rules. Could require a narrative requirement request. Is rare. So it looks like it's going to be anywhere between 550, or I'm sorry, 500 and 5,000 gold pieces to transfer. Chance at critical failure, lose loss of both items, or failure of the enchantment to take hold. Rushing enchantment may increase the DC, but help gathering supplies and work with the material may lower the DC. So, if he'll say to you, if you need it done that soon and that fast and that quality, I can do that for 5,000 gold pieces, 500 silver platinum.
I mean, we weren't planning on leaving for like 2 or 3 days, right?
No. I mean, we have
2
time
days.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we still need the hammer to get made.
True.
That too.
I mean, we can just assume that we tell him, 3 days. It might be a little more reasonable.
It's will cost you 5,000 gold pieces no matter how you do it. The only way I can make it done sooner is through my own means. Means that your other walks of life probably are not.
Oh no, we're gonna have you do it. We just need. They're making the hammer.
It'll cost you around 5,000 gold to put such an enchantment on an item. Unless you guys are thinking of a different one, I'm going to look at one more thing actually that I'm thinking of besides Flame Tongue, because I was thinking of that as like a elemental thing. But you know what? Maybe a Javelin of Lightning would be something comparable to.
Yeah.
That's uncommon. Let's see here.
Yeah, I have one in my inventory.
Target within 120 feet. Each creature in the line, including you, the target makes a species area. I'll say how. Oh, that would be cool. So uncommon. Let me just cross-reference. Where is that? To be, how is that less damage than the other one? Than Flame Tongue? It's 46 lightning damage. Oh, because it can only use once.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Which is why I don't use it often.
But that would be kind of cool. So he could recommend. Oh, that would be neat. Just kind of thinking about, because you guys just shared with him that you're crafting a hammer, right? What if we could throw the hammer and it would do lightning damage and come back to the person whoever is throwing it? Because that's the thing. It comes back to the person, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, that must be just with the chain of return.
Actually, just for the flavor of it, you could just say he smashes it into the ground and then like it calls down a lightning strike. That's a
definitely. I love that.
Like,
yeah,
because this thing's gonna be a big hammer, ain't it?
There's a hammer that I remember correctly. You can throw it and it casts fireball.
What? Jeez.
So
it may be rare, very rare, but it exists.
So considering that, I mean, again, I'm not trying to hardball you with Victor, but I'm also not just going to give you things. Considering that, so I do have to meta a little bit, but also this person doesn't seem to think rationally like the normal person, and from what little time, but now repetitive time with him, you're starting to kind of gather that he's just not altogether there, but he's also something's off about him. Just in he doesn't seem to be completely human. Maybe that you first had ascertained when you looked at him, or when you first met him. He just seems to kind of be off a little bit in his own world. He will, the hammer. He'll definitely be able to do that, and that one will cost about 500 gold, and he can still get it done within the week.
500 gold piece?
500 gold pieces, yes.
I'll add.
It will only, but it will be, once a day kind of thing.
Yeah. I'll put down another 20 platinum pieces on top of the 30 that I put down.
Okay.
I'm going to reach into my bag of holding and pull out the large dragon bone I have and lay it down, and then ask him how much would he knock off if I give him this.
I haven't had someone bring dragon bones to me in some time. See if I have anything right now.
We have this unidentified maw-like weapon in our items. Do we still have that?
I think that is on Josel's person.
Oh, okay. Because we still don't know what that does. Other than it probably gonna hurt.
Yeah, we still don't know.
He'll look it over. He goes, I would, if you're willing to part with this, definitely sell this or keep it or use it for something else. I'll just do it for trade if this is what if you are willing or if you're willing to kind of give this over, or are you asking to apply the enchantment to the
No, like a trade to do it.
He'll take that as a fair or even trade for the enchantment transfer.
All right.
He goes, I will need to know when you have it needed done by, and I will get it done by whenever you need me to complete the work by. He takes it, pulls it back over. He goes, "Bring me the hammer back as soon as you can, and I'll get to work." Now, is there anything else you guys wanted to ask him while you're here, or look into?
No.
I mean, we can do it offline, but do some shopping over here.
Okay. All right. Well, then, if you guys, we'll do this offline, and if you guys want to do a little bit more shopping, we all can do a little bit more shopping offline. But otherwise, he says, retcon or whatever, come back to this. He goes, "Well, get out of here." He's very rude and blunt. He grabs the dragon bone, and you'll see him walk back behind one of the new shelves that have appeared and have started to organize this organized chaos, if you will. And you kind of see him walk behind the thing, and from behind, back behind the dark shelves, you'll see in the dark area of the back part of the shop where he goes around the corner, you'll see whatever he interacts with. You'll see this purple light that kind of shimmers across and lights up the back room, and then it goes dark again. And then that's all you see. You don't hear anything else from Victor. What do you guys want to do?
Well,
We need to do?
I don't think that there's much that we need to do. No?
It's like the first time. We should probably figure out how to go into the Feywild.
Yeah, we need to figure that out.
Because I'm pretty sure there's an artifact of Merlin there. If not, there's way too many coincidences to things pointing to the Feywild.
That too. And Cronus, didn't you have that name or something that he called you?
Huh?
Wasn't there?
Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he called me Wishborn.
Wishborn? Does that sound familiar?
Not to you or anyone.
Huh. This sounds like we need to go to a library.
I mean, that sounds like a terrible time.
Do you want to figure out what Wishborn means?
God damn it.
You and Lorna can go fight and have a date later.
Oh,
Come on.
To the library.
And then kind of as she's walking away, she'll turn around and walk backwards and look at Lorna. Do you really think we didn't know? Then keep walking.
You two just fuck off. What the? Oh, hey. Lorna looks at Cronus like, library?
I guess let's go read the books.
Fuck. The two people that are completely uninterested in books at the moment.
Come on, we can find you a children's book.
Come on.
Did you just...
I mean, I'm sure they have books detailing workouts they could have.
I'm
They may even have
sorry.
pictures.
I'm sorry. I speak more than one language, thank you very much. I'm not stupid. Uh-huh.
Sure you're not.
Uh-huh.
Ouch.
She starts cursing in a
So-
different language.
What language?
Yeah, actually.
We don't have languages set up on here, do we? Shit.
You should have it in there automatically from your character stuff, right?
Oh no, I've programmed in Roll20 to like you can whisper to languages, and those who know it will actually see it.
Oh no, we don't.
No.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. She curses in Infernal.
I understand.
Do you hear a bunch of fucking swearing?
I don't, but I recognize it's from the Hells. It's just not when I speak.
I lean down
Also-
and whisper what she said.
Silent. That language that the letters were written in, I do know how to speak that, yes.
Yes, it is common, but it's not like it's just kind of like how there's English and there's Japanese and there's German and it's kind of like it's just in a different dialect for
Like what Canterbury Tales is written in. It's English, but like
this one is not. This is like definitely different than English. You'd have to speak the kind of the language of like the Eastern kind of kingdoms and stuff to understand.
I meant like example wise. Like it's an old English that to modern English
Gotcha.
speakers almost seems like another language, but you recognize the words, you're just not sure how they all fit together.
Exactly. But you definitely can read. You definitely can read it from your time. As a student over there and your background.
Okay. Yeah, so I would just tell
So I
the
don't know
two
if you
monsters
shared
in front of
anyone
us to go up.
I'm sorry, what was that, Cronus? I
I said in that language, I pretty much tell the two small lovebirds to move forward and go to the library.
Okay.
Talking this whole time. Just because your legs are longer than I am doesn't mean I'm not moving.
I was like, I'm trying, damn it. Oh shit.
But no,
All right.
Cronus has not shown anybody the letters.
Okay. So you guys will eventually make it to the library. Several scholars are kind of going around the different shelves and looking up things. One of the older elves does kind of seem to welcome you and open himself to questions as you guys seem to be coming to search for something. He kind of addresses you. He goes, artifacts of Merlin. Let me see. We got a drow, a dragonborn, a halfling, and a human. I'm going to assume you're Karuda, the group that we keep hearing so much about, as he just kind of identifies all six of you. As
That
you
would
guys
be
all
correct.
Yeah.
approach. Well, what can I help you look for? I know that Cinderella and Rapunzel have already sent so many requests to us that we've already begun looking into. But I imagine that anything of importance to you is of importance to us.
Yeah, we have two things we need to look into. One, a while ago there was a pirate who was looking to get into the Feywild. Did he come by here?
Oh. I don't recall any pirate. Well, I'm sorry, let me restart that. We didn't know he was a pirate when he first came, but I think I know who you're speaking of. Yes, he had a lot of interest into some of our maps and literature on, the Fae in our libraries. Specifically about a specific area that he said seemed to be a very interest in is was flying, going through the air to enter one to find. It said that if you go to follow this path, that it will take you to a distant land. And he seemed to be kind of obsessed with it. And then when he learned of how to find, I guess, those, or what he wanted out of these books about the stars and how to get to that land, he seemed very irritated with us. And I know he caused quite a storm when he kind of left the kingdom. But it was he was very upset that the queen and everything wouldn't agree to obviously give him any kind of airship or anything like that, and he kind of left making a lot of noise. But I heard he did find some other things and did a lot of reading about fairies and other things in the land of Erosia while he was here. Took a lot of interest in some of the pixie villages and fairies and stuff that were found in the western woods.
Yeah, so if we could see some of those books, because we also need to figure out how to get there. And also, these two, I point to Lorna and Cronus, they're looking into something called, is it Soulborn or Wishborn?
You just kind of see not confused, just kind of a face of just kind of like he's going through his memory. That doesn't seem too familiar. I've never read of anything in our text like that. You are welcome to kind of, to do some looking. Do you have any kind of reference to maybe point you in the right direction?
How about like Eastern legends?
Maybe particularly around Dragonborn?
That would be very interesting. We do have some Eastern texts. I admit that it's not as detailed as, perhaps it could be. I don't have a lot of historical information or background and study of a lot of the Eastern kingdoms, but there might be a few things. And he'll kind of guide you guys to what little bit they might have on Eastern Kingdoms and lore. You're not going to really find, if you guys take the time to look through those, you will not find a whole lot on, well, you won't find anything on Wishborn. And not a whole lot really on anything that seems related to it. Like anything that like hints towards it. This kind of seems very kind of bare minimum what they have there.
All right. So real quick, I'm gonna roll a D100.
Mm-hmm.
So I made it 90 pages before I dozed off.
Ah, shit. Hold on.
That's actually more than I thought you would.
Yeah, that's about right.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
I assume we're just at the same desk, and if there's like little pieces of paper, I'm just gonna start like tossing them at Lorna's forehead every once in a while.
Well, see, the problem is she probably flopped over the book, so there's just a mop of orange hair on the table now.
Yep, that has a collection of little paper bits.
Yeah. Oh God.
All right. Well, my mouse is dead, so I can't really pull up the thing, so let me just do it this way on my phone. So, Anika and Faye, you guys are digging through some of the books that he's kind of referred you to. Go ahead and just do investigation checks, and we're seeing how long this takes you to kind of dig through the material.
Right. Giving myself guidance.
And I can't move my mouse, so I can't see what you guys are
I'm
rolling.
going to use luck.
Okay. Anika,
Are they better?
I can't see what you guys roll. My mouth.
I rolled bad.
The highest was a 13.
Okay. What'd you roll, Faye?
I got a good old 9.
Good old 9. Okay. It's going to take you a while to get through all this material to find everything and piece all the puzzles together. He did, with his guidance, though, he is able to kind of get you a lot of the same reference material that he recalled Mr. James Hook kind of reviewing during his time here at Insunos. And again, you will find tales and texts about a land in the Fae that seems to be hard to find or to navigate to, and trying to reach it through the Feywild is impossible. But there seems to be a special way to reach it if you use 2 stars that appear in the sky. And you'll go through text and you'll be able to, especially with your knowledge, Anita, of stars, and that was kind of your nerdy thing before you joined the group, that you were kind of into stars and you were noticing the same patterns of stars missing and moving that normally wouldn't. These 2 stars, however, are pretty notable, and with your familiarity, you're going to be able to know where they appear or where it's referencing in these texts and maps. And by learning, reading more, you are going to find out the current instructions to go to this place that you have heard about so far. I'm sorry. If I could actually use my mouse, I would be able to just tell you what it is. That, but you'll know that you'll head out in the evening as soon as the stars appear in the sky, and as soon as you see these 2 stars that are oftentimes right next to one another, they're just kind of work in pairs, and you will see in some entry that you'll see that says 2nd star to the right, and then straight until the morning. There's no other metric of time or anything. It's just very open-ended, and apparently if you keep that heading until morning, it is supposed to presumably have you arrive at whatever Captain Hook was looking for, and where Republican had taken one of the relics to hide and protect.
It doesn't specifically say you have to go fly at it straight until morning. It just says you have to go straight until morning, right?
It's implied that you have to fly because you have to head directly in that direction of that star.
Yeah, I think she's going to keep looking because obviously that's not the only way. Unless Hook somehow found a way to fly a ship.
Mm. So you can keep reading about the stars and stuff, but everything kind of points you that direction that it would require flying towards that star in the sky. That's what you and Faye will uncover. Do you guys want to keep digging more into the pixies and fairies that Hook was also researching during his time there, or what else would you guys like to do?
Sure.
Okay.
So you said I'd know where these stars are? Where are they?
You would recognize this formation, and they would be appear in kind of the northwestern part of the sky in this section of Fantasia. Yeah, so you know that these would appear in the northwest, as long as the stars don't keep moving around on you like the other ones had. Yeah, if you go ahead and give me investigation checks from both of you as you guys kind of research pixies and fairies, and I can't
Guide us
see
again.
All right. You'll find texts and books about, the different pixies and fairies and stuff as it kind of relates to like magic, flight, and history and Sunos and stuff. You're going to find out that there, in the western forests, there is a large kind of population of pixies and fairies, and they're kind of described as mischievous and, albeit not ill-tempered or bad-natured. There's no, they just don't. They seem to be play by their own rules and seem to be kind of difficult to deal with. But you learn through reading more about pixies and fairies that they have some very powerful magic that seems to be that kind of makes up for their diminutive size and nature. But yeah, it just kind of it says that they have their pixie dust is capable of many different things as far as casting charms effects on people and different magical properties and effects that, as they use their pixie and fairy dust. It seems that the full potential of what they can do with that pixie dust is only known to the pixies and fairies themselves. But it's also rumored to cause things to levitate, and some of the pixie dust that comes from these pixies and fairies, it can cause things to levitate or fly. Yeah, and then there's talks about how there's cities within the forest, and then one specifically kind of comes up to you. It's kind of shrouded in mystery, and there's not a lot of details in the text of like location or map, but it says that they're in deep within the western woods, hidden away from prying eyes. There is record of the pixies spoken of, what they refer to as Pixie Hollow, where there is a grand tree with fountains of pixie dust that kind of pour through it. Kind of hidden from outsiders' eyes. It's kind of unclear whether or not it be tall tales or something of truth. There's no other details about it in their texts or in their libraries.
So is it a city in the woods?
A fairy city of sorts. Not a city by traditional means, but it seems that there are quite a few pixies that have taken up residence in the western woods. And that's, yeah, you'll see just different talks about other fey creatures and creatures that live in the woods, such as, gnomes. A lot of gnomes live there. Some of them have been kind of close to places where maybe they've been in the fey too much, or they're kind of just a little bit different from those that live in the cities of Sunos and other places of Erosia. They seem to have more fey-like temperaments, the creatures that set up homes in the western woods.
At this point, I'm assuming the other two are like dead asleep.
I don't know. What are you doing, Cronus and Lorna, as you guys are making it through? You guys are just, after they got reading about the things, you just finished your 100th page.
They didn't get that far.
Not even combined did we get through 100 pages.
All right. Is there? Go ahead. Is there any? What did you guys roll for your investigations, Faye and Anika?
The last one, 15. And Faye
Go
got
ahead.
17.
Okay. Why don't you both go ahead and ask me one more question, and if I can't answer it, I'll let you ask another one. But go ahead and just ask me one more direct question, and I'll try to give you as best an answer as I can. If that makes sense for the information that's available there.
Trying to think of a question.
Yeah.
I have one. It mentions a way to get into the Feywild. Does it mention ways to get out?
It does not.
Interesting.
other questions? I mean, if I answered all the ones that you could think of, that's fine too.
Yeah, pretty much. I just wanted to see how Hook did it. And
Sure,
since we don't know, we'll have to go talk to the fairies.
sure. I just want to make sure that your question that you asked, I gave you value for your questions, because sometimes when you ask a question, you're not really sure what you're asking until you start getting some of the answers. Like, well, I actually meant more like this. So, okay, as long as those answers answer your questions. All right, well, we'll probably take you guys the rest of the evening to kind of complete your research, but there's still some time left in the evening. What else do you want to do?
Before we leave, Nika's gonna wake the other two up by closing a book near their ears.
You want to do that with Thaumaturgy?
I think that's a little too loud for a library, don't you think?
Oh.
Fair.
She sits right up and like punches out in front of her like, I'm awake.
Uh-huh.
Hair just flies everywhere.
I don't know what you two learned, but we need to go talk to some pixies in the Western Wood.
Yep.
What? No. Not
Either
today.
that or we convince the queens to give us an airship, and then hope Hook doesn't steal it.
God.
I feel like the airship would be easier.
Yeah.
Do any of you know how to fly an airship?
Do you know how to find pixies?
Yeah, actually. Oh. They're in the Western Wood.
Yeah, they have a village.
Bullshit.
They have a village.
There's also a lot of gnomes there. If we find the gnomes, we find the pixies.
Hey.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, that seems awfully suggestive that they're just going to be together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it even says the gnomes have very Fey-like qualities, so. You don't normally get that unless you're near the Feywild or Fey influence. Pixies are Fey.
Well, I know how to ride a horse, drive a cart, sail a ship. How hard could it be to fly an airship? It's literally just a ship in,
Comparatively to reading more than 5 pages?
I read more than 5 pages, thank you.
I don't know. But I also don't think they're going to give us one.
Yeah. Can we not do it today?
Yeah, no. I figured we'd do it after, we broker a peace between two nations.
Okay.
Yeah, we broker peace, then we work on getting to the Feywild.
Yeah.
And
we kind of have to go there anyway. There's a whole piece of Merlin there. Actually, I'm kind of wondering why we didn't just ask Rapunzel how Merlin got it to the Feywild. Well, does she even know? I think she knows.
She probably didn't know. She didn't. You never asked. But to be fair, so sorry, I shouldn't answer that until you ask.
Yeah, I'm not sure she'd think to ask Merlin, or her family would have, but we could probably ask her next time we see her.
Yeah.
Want to go hit things now?
Kind of. I feel like I kind of want to hit you for waking me up. But...
Did you want me to leave you sleeping here?
Your
neck wouldn't have liked you.
Yeah, you'd probably want a nice pillow.
Everything hurts already, so...
Imagine if it hurt more. You're welcome.
You definitely don't want to fall asleep sitting at a desk reading books.
From experience, not nice.
I mean, it's not the first time that I've done it either, but okay. But yeah. Can we just go hit things down?
Plus, I don't know how the library would feel about sleeping here.
Honestly, considering who we are, I don't think they'd object.
I mean, we're kind of a big deal.
Yeah, you're stopping entire armies from marching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go hit some things before Lorna decides I'm a really good thing to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you guys want to go spend some time back at the training grounds?
Hey.
Or is there something that you guys specifically wanted to do for that, or just you guys want to kind of unwind with some downtime stuff and then pick
Yeah.
up in the morning, or what would you guys like to do?
That's right. This place didn't actually have like a any place you could fight at, did it?
No.
It didn't really have a fighting,
Yeah.
organized fighting scene here. You guys, last time you used kind of the guards and army training grounds that you guys found in the parts of the Sunos, but no organized fight ring here.
Yeah, just
Anything else you guys?
any random place to fight, and yeah, I don't have anything specific.
Are you just looking to spar or train then, or are you
Yeah.
actually wanting to beat someone up?
Ooh. How tempted am I? I'm kind of tempted to beat somebody up.
Then the next session, Lauren is in jail.
Next session, Lauren is in jail.
I mean, I have to have one of my D&D characters get arrested.
I mean, technically, we all started being arrested.
Didn't the three of y'all start arrested?
No, we were
captured.
Not arrested.
Rodus was
Slightly
arrested because I
different.
fought a guard.
I'm sorry, what?
I
You
fought a guard,
What?
and I won. But the other ones arrested me. That's how
So
I got
therefore he
locked up.
lost.
Yeah. But no, just
Yeah, technically,
Sorry.
I don't think many of us have gotten arrested.
I mean,
no.
honestly, if you get arrested, that normally means you get caught, and I kind of make a habit of not doing that.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
guys were arrested by the pirates, but that was more like a capture.
It was more of we were captured as war. No, not that. Just
actually, Cronus got
captured.
arrested in Sunos.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yep. Technically.
technically, Cronus as Daruko got arrested in Sunos.
True.
Mm-hmm. Well, if there's nothing left that you guys want to do this evening besides some training, did you guys want to role play that training, or did you want to fast forward to the morning and we will just pick up our session in the morning the next day? I don't want to fast forward if there's something you guys wanted to maybe do some in-character chat or something, or role play or discuss anything like that. Did you guys want to do some of that, or what did you guys want to do?
I mean,
I know.
I'm good for picking up in the morning, the next session.
Yeah, picking up in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we will, I think, just call a session here then. Just because this is a good kind of stopping point. Nothing too major has happened besides, I mean, obviously you guys made the agreement, or, now you got to go see if Bruco will give the seed back, but you guys have made a great point, and they had a good bargaining chip that they don't want to, that they definitely want back. And it seems the only way to get that back is to agree to the terms of that Bruco and them gave you guys to deliver. Yeah, so we'll just start there with the queens trying to work on building or crafting a beautiful hammer, or finding one possibly that could be enhanced and prepared for the new chieftain. And I think that's everything.
Yep.
All right. Well, guys,